Welcome to the ISO Show, dispelling myths and sharing tips for success to improve your business with ISO standards, with your host, Mel Blackmore.
Hi, and welcome to the ISO Show. Thanks very much for joining me today. In this episode, we're going to be looking at outsourcing aspects of your ISO management system. So some organisations manage everything in-house, and that's absolutely fine. But there are many organisations that do look to outsource specific aspects of their ISO management system support. In fact, at Blackmores, this service, which is called an ISO support plan, which supports businesses when they are looking to outsource certain aspects of their management system. This service accounts for 70% of the work that we do, and we look after hundreds of clients' management systems, regardless of the standard. It could be any ISO standard, that we want to be able to make sure that they have got optimal resources available to them. Because at the end of the day, having an ISO support plan can give assurance and peace of mind that ISO compliance is taken care of. Because what not many organisations realise is that when they achieve certification, that it's valid for 3 years. So we have a 3-year programme of ISO support to help you every single step of the way, from planning your internal audits right through to supporting you with employee engagement and recertification at the end of the 3-year period, which in theory enables you to set it and forget it. And it's totally tailored to suit your needs and gives you maximum value and the lowest risk, because you can cancel at any time. So that's the ISO support plan. And at the moment, we're providing anybody that signs up for an ISO support plan with 6 months free ISOlogy Hub access as well. So that's our online membership that gives you access to video tutorials, e-learning, templates and documents to support you with your ISO management system, both implementation and maintenance. So why do businesses look to outsource certain aspects of their ISO management system? Well, quite often it's as a result of a lack of time. Okay, so there isn't sufficient time with the resources that they've got. It can also be a lack of competency and expertise. So just generally a lack of resources. And in some cases, it's a lack of enthusiasm. So somebody may have been carrying out internal audits for many years, and they'd rather be doing something a little bit more interesting, and they'd rather hand that over to somebody who absolutely loves internal auditing. And that's who we are. At Blackmores, we have a team of consultants that love to carry out proactive internal audits to identify great opportunities for improvement. So what can you outsource, and what do you need to keep in-house? Well, in terms of in-house, I would strongly recommend leadership commitment. That's an obvious one. It's really key to driving continual improvement across an organisation. You need that commitment from the top. But they don't need to be completing every single ISO task. That's where we come in. Then objectives. So leadership are expected to set objectives and to review performance against them as well, to make sure that objectives are being met across the organisation, and hold people accountable. So that could be environmental objectives, health and safety, information security, and that needs to be driven from the top. Then we've got operational management and operational activities. So if you've got a help desk facility, then obviously you're not going to outsource that to an ISO standards expert. They're the day-to-day workings of your business operations that obviously need to be kept in-house where possible. Although obviously some organisations do outsource certain functions like HR or payroll, for example, but that's not really what I'm talking about in terms of the main nuts and bolts of what you do as a business. Health and safety competent person. Okay, so if you're an organisation of a certain size that may be more exposed to risks, then health and safety competent person is something that is a requirement, and that's not something that we can provide, because we believe that needs to be dealt with by a qualified person in-house should an accident or incident arise. Similarly with risk management, things like incident reporting. So if you have a person that reports on any types of incident or near miss, that needs to be done as soon as possible, and that needs to be done on site within your organisation. And then also implementing corrective and preventive action. So we can flag up opportunities for improvement, which could result in corrective action, but it's down to the leadership team, to management, to initiate that and to make sure that that is actually going to be happening. And then finally, employee communications on any changes and reminders as well. Ideally, that should be driven in-house by the relevant person. So what sort of things can you outsource? Okay, so there are a number of tasks that are requirements of an ISO standard, the most popular of which is internal audits. So this actually makes up the bulk of the ISO support service that we provide for our clients. And we're well known for our approach to internal audits. For us, it's not a tick box exercise. It's about taking a personal approach to continual improvement. And what we do is we look at the plan based on the duration of your certificate. So let's say you've just been certified. We'll provide a 1-year and 3-year plan to focus on risks and commercial opportunities to improve business performance and obviously to meet the requirements of the ISO standard. So we've got a team of qualified lead auditors that will work in collaboration with you to manage your internal audit programme and be your internal auditors. The results of that are obviously very important because things like an internal audit schedule and internal audit reports are reviewed by your certification body when they come over each year to do the surveillance visit. So the quality of them needs to be pretty good, and ours are excellent. Obviously, I'm slightly biased, but we know exactly what the assessor is going to be looking for, and we've got qualified lead auditors to complete all of the internal audits. Speaking of that annual certification body visit, that's another service that you can outsource. So we can act as an ISO ambassador for your company to make sure that all employees and the certification body auditor are briefed on the agenda and also the type of evidence of compliance required, ensuring that the visit goes smoothly. So in some cases, we act as an interpreter for the standards requirements to meet the business's needs. Another thing that you can outsource is your legal register review and also legal compliance audit. So many of the standards expect you to be able to identify the applicable statutory, regulatory requirements and other requirements and to make sure that they are complied with within your organisation. So this is a service that we offer as part of the implementation of a new ISO standard, but we also offer it as part of an ISO support plan service as well, because it's important that your legal obligations are A, known to the leadership team, and B, kept up to date, and C, obviously you need to be able to evidence compliance with that as well. So this just prevents you from getting into any trouble if there are things that are happening that you're not aware of that are not legally compliant. Now, obviously we can only sample audit, it is literally a sample, but it gives you a bit of a representative view on legal compliance. And that can cover health and safety, legislation, environmental, data privacy. We do a lot on GDPR and other business critical legal requirements as well. Another service that we offer, which relates to the previous 2 podcasts that I've been talking about, which is about reviewing and updating your management system, is for us to be able to come in and to be able to refresh your management system when it's needed. Because at the end of the day, problems within businesses are ultimately caused by poorly performing systems. So, as we know, a system is a way of doing business. It's a way of optimising your performance. And done in the right way, it can shift your company culture in the right direction and give you that competitive edge. So as your business evolves, we support the leadership team by updating the management system. However, in our view, we believe there isn't much point in having an ISO system if you can't demonstrate the positive impact it brings. So these are the results. So by quantifying the positive results of your ISO system, it's basically the next step of continual improvement journey with Blackmores. Because this can have a ripple effect across your business to not only improve efficiency and productivity, but also sustainability as well. And it can result in happier employees and clients as a result of doing that. So, delivering to the highest standards doesn't happen by accident. It does take in-house expertise supported by expertise in ISO standards as well. And we can support you with all the necessary updates to your ISO management system. There are just a couple of other things as well that we provide support with that you can easily outsource. One is management review. So we can facilitate your management review, whether that's a meeting, whether that's a collation of data for management to then review independently and then come back and provide an update on that. But we can plan and facilitate that and bring together the key people involved in order to be able to review the performance of your management system. And again, the records of that are shown to your certification body on an annual basis, so it is important to get that right too. I think finally, we recognise that businesses that have implemented ISO standards for a reason, quite often it's to bid for a tender, but more often than not, it is about continuing improvement. So the other thing that we offer is to carry out business health checks on specific areas where we have expertise here at Blackmores. That could be, you may have a quality management system in place at the moment, but you would like an independent review on business continuity and guidance and recommendations for actions on that, or health and safety, or carbon verification and carbon neutrality. So we bring in our experts to support you with that. And I think last but not least, employee engagement. So some organisations would like to have refresher training for employees to make sure that the management system is communicated effectively. Now, this can include refresher and induction training. It could include train the trainer for process owners. And also it could include our employee engagement amplifiers. That's something that we have over in the ISology Hub, but we can run that as a workshop as well. Because it's really key, if you have got an ISO management system, that all employees are engaged with it and are following it. So they're just some of the areas then that you can outsource. So that's internal audits, legal compliance, audits including updating the legal register, chairing management review and updating your management system, and support during on-site visits with your certification body, and finally engagement initiatives such as awareness training and refresher training for employees. So I hope that's given you a bit of a flavour for what should be managed in-house, what you could potentially outsource in order to be able to optimise your resources so that you can focus on what you do best, and potentially in some cases, leave some of the ISO aspects to ISO experts if you think that's going to complement your current resources and leadership team. So if you'd like any assistance with maintaining your management system, we are offering a free consultation on what you can outsource and whether that's going to work for your business. And if you sign up for an ISO support plan, we're giving away 6 months free of the ISology Hub, which is your one-stop shop for all things ISO. So that's it from me today. If you don't want to miss any future episodes, just click on subscribe. And I'd just like to say thank you very much for listening today. I really do appreciate it. And I look forward to catching up with you on the next ISO show.
Looking to achieve certification to an ISO standard, or just need a helping hand with ISO compliance? Contact us at blackmoresuk.com.